Episode 39. This is going to be an interesting one.
Somewhat Savants.
Okay.
Well, here we are, new year.
New year, new me, motherfucker.
Or new year, same shit.
I wonder how many cuss words we say in the first 30 seconds of each episode. Someone else pointed that out again. I don't know if you saw it. This is Donna Marie, my
Donna
homie.
Marie. It seems like it's just her.
She's cool as shit.
Hey, but before we get going, we have a lot more people.
Shit ton more, a lot more people, not a shit ton. We don't use that word anymore.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for subscribing. All of you that found the year in review video that seemed to do well with a lot of people. And we're happy to have you. Thank you for subscribing.
It's weird. We've gotten like moderate success on some things we've done, but in this new push of the podcast, I don't want to downplay it. And I've always got my inner critic in my head where I'm like, it's not even anything, so you shouldn't even talk about it. But it is. For us, I mean, when we were used to getting 20 views on a podcast for a long time.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, we see this one video, we're like, whoa.
Exactly.
And with it came a lot of people subscribing to the channel. So with that,
hundreds.
We're grateful. Yeah, literally hundreds.
On both channels.
It doubled.
We've got a combined 1,000 right now.
Yeah, with both channels. You're right. That's a good way to look at it. I like that.
I thought about if we go to like that event, the Veritas event, people naturally they're gonna be like, "Oh, how many subs you got?" And it sounded way more impressive to say like, "Oh, we've got 598 on this channel and 432 on this." We got a combined 1,000 between that and our clips.
Between all the content output platforms that we're currently occupying.
Exactly. However classy you can say it.
1,000.
Did you see? I'll just jump there because my mind's on it. The big hashtag expose Fauci Veritas video.
Yeah, I did with the Pentagon. Documents.
I thought about like wanting to. You want to watch it real quick and put it up?
We would do that.
Less than 24 hours after we recorded this episode, watched that video, it is now gone, wiped from the internet. The account that posted it is suspended, no trace of it anywhere online. The gist of the video was court documents from the Pentagon proving that Dr. Fauci lied under oath when it came to his involvement with gain-of-function research. We knew that already, but this was the proof of him lying under oath, which is a very, very big deal. I'll try to find a link to put it in the description, but so far this video has vanished without a trace. All right, back to the episode.
Dr. Fauci says.
But is any of that going to impact Dr. Fauci, or is he way too deeply embedded in what's going on for him to get harmed by anything at this point?
No, I think he is protected to the gills. Nothing will happen to this guy. He is Palpatine. He is whatever you want to call him. He is the highest of the highest order as far as power ranks, especially with dealing with this corona vid bullshit. So I don't think anything's going to happen. No, I don't think anything will happen to him.
He's their guy. They've invested in him. They're going to go to all lengths to make sure, ultimately, they don't look like fools for appointing this guy to be in charge of this pandemic the way they've wanted and orchestrated him to be.
Pretty much. I mean, he lied under oath, so it's already evident that, like, anyone else would more than likely be prosecuted, at least forced to resign at the very least. But clearly nothing's happening. He gets on television still and spouts his bullshit, and everyone is in that mass formation psychosis, so they're all just eating it up still. So I don't think anything's going to happen. I mean, it's great. I mean, it might wake more people up, but as far as him feeling the repercussions or the consequences of what he's been doing, I mean, I just don't see it happening.
In regards to... I've got two different things I want to talk about, but you mentioned mass formation psychosis.
Yeah, from the Malone interview on Rogan that's been going around.
They're trying everything they can do to make sure that doesn't go around.
I know.
And I think that's fucking sinister.
I know.
The part that hits me the most is because I feel for Joe. I just want to, that's where my mind goes to. I've been a longtime fan before. I mean, he's hitting a new wave of popularity now.
Oh, it's incredible.
Just
when you think he couldn't level up anymore, he did.
And did you see that chart that came out where it was CNN's ratings, MSNBC,
Dwarfed.
and then
Dwarfed.
it was a bar chart. I'll put it up here, and it just shot past it.
Oh, yeah. And if that doesn't tell you that I believe the majority of people are like, nah, fuck this, then I don't know what will.
But still, my whole point was he was mostly getting censored by YouTube, and that's what made him go to Spotify. He wasn't really getting censored by Apple. And then, of course, we know everything that happened. I mean, if you don't, when he first went over there to Spotify,
the employees were raging over it, and they wanted some episodes didn't make it to Spotify, though.
they're still not there.
Yeah.
I think any Alex Jones episode, for a while, there was Chris D'Elia episodes that were down just because of his allegations. I want to say, what's his name? Started the Proud Boys. Gavin McGinnis, his episode.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he went on the show, too.
He's definitely done one, but he might have done 2 episodes.
I've only seen his Tim Pool interview.
Well, and I like him a lot. He's an entertaining guy. But they're not even trying to hide anymore their censorship. I feel like I said censorship. People called it. Shut the fuck up.
Spoons.
I remember salad fingers very vividly. Gave me fucking nightmares.
Anyway, censorship is out of control, yes. And you remember vividly.
People are saying, I bet this podcast will get censored. And sure enough. People saying, oh, I bet Epstein's going to kill himself. And sure enough. It's like they're so brazen by just putting it in our faces at this point. I don't even know what to do. I really think more so now, and that Malone podcast might have been a tipping point for me, honestly, because that's something that hit really close to home with me, that we are at the fall of fucking society, Zach. There was a guy who went on Rogan who talked about in every societal fall, one of the major things that was going on was mass gender dysphoria. And a lot of the same issues we're dealing with now, the same shit we're trying to like normalize. And that's why it might take a little longer for us to fall as opposed to like Rome. Mm-hmm. I mean, Rome was, they were fucking and sucking and eating and killing and
but then
some more.
You could just slice and dice people. Not so easy anymore.
No, but that was, we really don't know how advanced they were. Same with like the Egyptians, and then like the fall of the Egyptians, that could have been a catastrophic event. Mm-hmm. I've heard that theory. But you look at the pyramids and think they have to have they had to have been way more advanced than we're being taught in order to make those structures. And I say that to show there's probably been societies who could have been as advanced, if not in different ways, more advanced than we are today. Maybe their internet was something completely different. Maybe they did figure out mind things. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard theories that the Egyptians knew how to harness actual vibrations and use devices that somehow were able to, all sorts of stuff. And I mean, they basically created math.
People discrediting that, you have to give as much credibility to that.
They didn't create math. They created the language to understand it.
Thank the Phoenicians.
You can thank the Phoenicians.
Starship Earth, Disney World. If you haven't ridden it, ride it, because they can't get rid of Starship Earth.
It's the golf ball.
Yeah, but they can reinvent it.
Yeah, they could. I think they're going to refurbish it.
I can take a refurbish.
You can thank the Phoenicians for this refurbishment.
If they take out, you can thank the Phoenicians. I'm done. I protest. I'm out. Same with if Universal gets rid of ET. Did they?
No, still there.
Okay.
Still there.
Okay. I hear Shrek's gone, pretty much.
Shrek just closed.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Shrek is gone, boy!
Come to talk with
Blow my brains out. I love Donkey!
I will miss seeing Donkey. I think they might keep the meet and greet.
They have to keep the meet and greet because Donkey was one of the most offensive characters in that park. There'd be like this big 500-pound guy and be like, oh, Shrek's cousin. I swear to God. And it's like, dude, I'd be sitting out there that's where we collect the glasses and you could hear him. He would just roast motherfuckers.
I love when they roast, man. Him and the Poseidon guy in Islands of Adventure.
The fountain?
The fountain. He roasts too. He's good. And then sometimes the Megatron will roast.
I've never heard him talk.
Megatron will talk. He'll come out and he'll talk and he'll roast.
Does he talk like this? He's like, I need the allspark.
Oh, Megatron's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like,
Look at this guy. Do you work out?
like he says shit like that all the time. Bumblebee will talk in radio, and then Optimus will be like,
Get the allspark.
That's who I'm. Everyone just wants the fucking Allspark. Might as well be the vaccine.
oh, man, she.
I don't mean to bring everything back to COVID. Okay, so
Let me just say something.
The Phoenicians. What are you gonna say?
Because you said I don't mean to bring it back to COVID, but okay. Well, finish your
No.
Phoenician
I'm
thought.
done. I'm done.
No, you're not.
We are at the fall of society,
Correct.
and I think
This is true.
This is the fall. There has been other societies, like I said, who have been as advanced as us, or in a different way, more advanced, who I think have fell and probably could have fallen to something very similar to this. I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom. Everything's on the outs. Everything sucks, but everything's starting to really suck, and everything's starting to get pretty fucking crazy. And I had a weird time spiritually, and I wasn't believing the Bible and everything like that. But the more stuff's going sideways,
I'm finding my way to that damn Bible. You better believe it.
the good book. It's the end of days.
Every day I look over and I'm like, damn, this is adding up a little too well.
There's some wisdom in that book.
Oh, yeah. And to what you just said, I don't mean to bring it back to COVID. I have something to say in regards to talking about this constantly.
Okay.
So, because I hear it all the time from people.
Oh, I heard it recently
Yeah.
in our DMs.
And even when I talk to just family and stuff, they're like, blah, blah, blah. But this single-handedly was one of the craziest events to happen in our lifetime that has changed the course of how society has moved forward. 2 years ago, we went from 15 days to flatten the curve, whatever they were calling it, to now 2 years later, they're talking about a fourth shot for this Omicron.
Omicron.
Which is more or less a pretty intense cold. Everyone has it. If you're sick right now, you more than likely are dealing with it. But the point of why you have to keep talking about it, you don't have to. First off, there's a magic word, compartmentalizing. I am not a miserable person 24/7. So I'm not dreading constantly because we live in Florida, for one. So we have normal lives for the most part down here. But that doesn't mean it's going to stay this way forever. You know, that's something to keep in mind. But how can you not, when literally the fabric of society has been changed to the point to where we are pretty much in a biomedical security state? You can't do anything in New York and California without showing your damn vaccine card. You can't do anything. Students are still staying home, Zooming. What?
People are getting arrested.
Arrested? Yeah. Do you see the video of the kid that got kicked out of the Applebee's in New York City?
Crying his eyes out, terrified, probably will forever hate police.
Tell me, in what point in history has the effectiveness of medicine been blamed on people who didn't take it? Also, this is all new shit. This isn't adding up. And I'm sorry, but there is a mass formation psychosis. I'm going to show you this video. I'll make sure to send it to you so that way we can get it up on this screen. But I want you to watch this.
Put your hands in there. Put your hands in there. I got you. Squeeze her.
Get 6 feet away from me, you stupid bitch!
Talking to you.
Get away
I'm not
from me
talking
now!
to you.
No mask, get out!
So what do you think that is? That is people who are terrified, who are not thinking rationally anymore.
What was up with Bubble Boy in the beginning?
Oh, like holding the baby through like a bazillion tarps?
That was one of the creepiest things I've ever
Squeeze tight, squeeze tight. What the fuck?
Oh, so he didn't drop it and the kid's all like trapped in the plastic. Oh, okay.
Suffocates, dies.
All because Pawpaw. Oh my God.
But that's what I'm saying. The median age of death for COVID is over 80. That's over the median life expectancy, which is like mid-70s.
Is it still? Damn.
Yeah. We ain't doing ourselves any favors with
Real quick.
a lot of the American health practices, but
Rest in peace, fucking Bob Saget, dude.
dude, in Orlando he died too.
I can't, but that was
The Ritz-Carlton.
Norm Macdonald, then Bob Saget. That's two men. They were
Have they said why yet?
no. And
Interesting.
But they suspected no drugs or foul play. And he had tweeted just a couple days before that, like, man, I'm finally fucking happy doing this.
I know, yeah. He's talking about how he feels alive again, being
Right.
back on tour and shit. I can't believe he was in Florida. I didn't know he was in Florida.
Nor did I. Y'all go to so much comedy. I would have thought that would have been.
Well, that would have been a big show to go to.
That's true, but I mean, still, that would have been crazy if y'all had been. Think about the people who were scheduled to go, and it's like,
yeah, because that's like an OG rolling through.
I know, and like, what a weird position to be put in for like the company. I guess they have to refund you. They're not going to keep your money.
Yeah, they would have to. I
just-
guess.
my
Or
brain-
they could be like, we're going to donate it. I don't know.
Yeah, donate to what though? I mean, we
Yeah, I
know
don't
when
know.
he fucking died.
Ritz-Carlton,
And
Orlando.
Today I had a real. Bollinger told my friend told me I guess the house isn't full anymore. And you know what? Bob Saget would have fucking laughed at that.
Yeah,
so
no,
that's fine.
that's funny. He would have appreciated that.
Stephen Bollinger, shout out. He probably doesn't want me to say that because he doesn't want to get.
He's like, shit.
I said it. It was me. So speaking of the mortality rate, that took me there. I had a sobering moment. He was only 65, and there's a part of me that's like, oh yeah, 65. Okay, I get. My parents are going to be 65 soon,
Yeah, dude.
and I just feel like my parents are my parents. I don't look at them as old like that. They're just kind of. I guess I always look at I've always looked at my parents as like perpetually like 48. Like they
just never go any higher.
I know,
They're
they
never
just-
any younger.
they seem 48.
How old your parents? Late 40s.
Yeah.
Well, my mom, she's pretty young for a mom, and she only just turned 51.
That's average, though. That's not. I guess that's on the younger side. I think my parents were kind of old for having me. They
Well,
were.
considering how old I am.
We're almost 30. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So your mom was like 20. Jeez. I'm kidding. I always thought it'd be weird being like 30 and my kid's 15. Like if I was a woman.
If you were 30?
Yeah, because people have kids at 15.
Yeah. Some people do.
So you're 45 and your kid's do the math.
30.
Oh yeah.
That'd be strange.
That because you could. I mean, that's
At that point, you're
a
like,
45-year-old dating a 30-year-old isn't crazy. So it's like you're in the dating range of your kid.
I know that is. Yeah, exactly. Like if you were 45 with a 30-year-old kid, and if you were a dad and that was your son, I mean, you guys, let's go out drinking, you end up fighting and be like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Hitting on the same chick. She's mine, Dad. Ooh. I mean, that has to happen.
No, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there's many
Dads take
scenarios.
girls. And see that, let's tie it all the way. Now we're like old school savants where we go on, I like this better, diatribes, then we come all the way back, baby. That's what was going on in like ancient Rome is the mom fucking the son and all the weird shit.
In ancient Rome.
Yeah, and I think slowly but surely in a much more, I don't want to say sophisticated, but in a societally sophisticated, meaning the technology we have and the advancements we made and the medicine we have, it'll look different. Our downfall, I think, will be a lot softer, and then the big boom will come. Not. And it could be something naturally catastrophic, but I'm just saying something.
Don't look up.
COVID was what tipped us over the edge and like or put us on the little teeter, something's balancing back and forth. And there's got to be one more thing, whether it's COVID related, whether it's Omicron or not, something. There's going to be one more thing that's like, vroom.
Well, you want to know? Here's what I think.
Climate
'Cause-
change.
Well, that could be it, but here's the thing. They were running drills, the World Economic Forum and all these fucks and all those elites, before the Rona happened. And they were running pandemic drills of like how they would conduct a response if something like this were to happen. Now, they're running drills conducting what would happen if there was a blackout or if there was like a supercomputer virus. Like, so if you go on the World Economic Forum, you can watch videos. They have one where they like, and of course, this stupid, young, hip British narrator. He's like,
Hello.
and he's just like, the coronavirus was a very intense pandemic. Now, just imagine if there was a computer virus with the power of a bazillion coronaviruses, what that would do to world economies. They would lose billions. So we have to be vigilant and think of a plan to stop this. So in my head, I'm like, okay, our computers, our money, all of this shit, what would they have to do if a super virus, they would have to shut it down briefly for a moment, blackout, chaos, and then they would start it all back up, but then there'd be new shit in place, probably have one world currency, probably would have all sorts of strict financial shit, because that one world global order is something that they want. I'm telling you right now. And that's all you got to do. You just got to look and see what they're doing up there in that WEF and Davos and all those fucks. Just pay attention to them, go to their website, keep up to date, and see what they're up to, because usually that's what's going to be coming, is what it seems to be like. And I mean, usually, I mean, I don't know. Everyone kind of just started picking up on this after the freaking pandemic happened, but it was just ironic that they were running drills at the time, or not drills, scenarios, computer modules of like how their response would be. And I think that a blackout or the potential threat of like an EMP.
What does that mean?
Electric magnetic pulse weapon. It's something,
Okay.
and like cars wouldn't work. Anything that's electrically powered wouldn't work. It'd be a complete. Okay, that's honestly what I would be freaking out about, which is why off the grid doomsday prep type living is getting more and more attractive.
Survival box.
Yeah, get your Patriot supplies. 2-for-1 Patriot box supplies. You can get this right here at your house. You can feed your family for 6 months.
Then you're on your own.
Brought to you by PatriotSupply.com. Patriot Supply promo code.
Savants.
I wish.
Soon. Keep talking like this.
I know, right?
But you've already mentioned they're pushing, and I've seen the evidence that they're pushing for nobody to own anything. There was that article.
You will own nothing and be happy.
There was that article that said that. And by 2030, Jesus, Zach, you've been saying 2030 something is when the shit's going on. In this
I think
article,
2030's endgame.
You've said that multiple times on record. That completely lines up with the narrative you're saying, and the way, because nobody's just gonna automatically, you know what, I'll give over my shit. Nobody was ever, if the government said like, hey, there's no virus, but we just think everyone should wear a mask, fuck you, we're not, maybe some people would do it, but they had to really push the fear and really, really put their foot on the gas. Like, Corona started out scary, everybody was nervous, and then there was...
And to be fair, I was like, we don't know what the hell's going on.
No, none of us did.
I did some hand sanitizer in the beginning, but it didn't take long to figure out, like,
Oh, I did. I mean, I wore a mask many places. There's still times, like if I got to go to the doctor, I'll still put it on because I just don't want to deal with it. I'm a passive anarchist. Okay, I'll put it on.
You bitch.
I want to go get my drugs from the doctor, so I'll put it on.
I have to go to Texas in a few months, and I can't wait to go to that airport.
Is it masked?
Well, last time I was in the airport, I didn't wear a mask, but I know on the plane you have to.
Federal mandate states.
I mean, I remember we
Must
were like
stay 6
helping.
feet away.
We were at the ticket booth because we were dropping someone off, and the worker was like, "Mask, you need to put them." And I.
So we can all stand there and wait in line, jammed up next to each other. But
Yeah, no, like it was by the check-in. I just didn't do it.
I'm saying
didn't do it.
We can go through the whole, but I don't think it's mandated to go through the airport with it. But then once you get on a plane, after it just doesn't.
Once
make
you're on
any,
a plane, you have to because it's FAA regulated.
I
federal.
understand, but it still just doesn't make any gosh damn sense.
No, and it's already been proven that the likelihood of transmission due to the air filtration systems on those planes is so unlikely. Like, no one's catching that shit on the plane. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
It's gonna take an event like you just said, blackouts, or which they could potentially blame on like climate change or whatever else they can concoct.
Yeah, and they will manufacture something to
Soon.
justify it. Yeah.
I mean, 10 years. I when you initially 2030's end game, I catch things slow. I think slower than you. Like, it takes me longer to have stuff sit in, and maybe my head's in the clouds a little bit. I don't know. I do eventually come around where I see enough evidence where I'm like, oh my God, Zach was saying this months ago, and he's right. I was that way with the shipping crisis that's still going on. My mom was just talking about, I can't find this, I can't find that. The shelves are empty.
Everywhere. Yeah, there's stuff that you just still can't get.
Even in Florida.
Appliances are hard to get right now. Like my mom and my stepdad just had to get a new fridge. It took forever.
My next door neighbors couldn't get a pool.
Really?
They waited a whole year, and they finally got the pool.
Like a above ground pool?
Yeah, but it was something about the Formica or whatever the fuck you put in there.
That's interesting. Oh, yeah, like a component to the pool.
Right.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, there you go right there. And even when it comes to these Fauci ouchies, when they announced those in the beginning, how many people were just like, oh, the vaccine, there were people saying they're probably going to make you take more. And here we are. We're on the fourth one. They're already saying they're going to make a fourth one. The CEO of Pfizer just came out and he did a stupid little video. He said it's going to be version 1.1, a fourth one. At this point, like, who's taken this fourth one? I'll tell you who's taking it. The people in that video I just showed you. And they're going to keep taking it.
Mainline me. Put it in my good vein. Yeah, let me slurp it up.
And here's another thing, too. You'll own nothing and be happy.
Right.
Home ownership.
They want everybody renting.
They want everyone renting. And that is why... Because my sister just bought a house. Took her. It was hell.
Sydney?
Yeah.
Awesome.
She got one. But every offer they were putting in, cash buyers. They were just getting swept under the rug. Because these investment firms like BlackRock, these gigantic ones, they're buying houses.
Zillow?
Left and right. Just whoop, they're just scooping them up. And it's hard right now to get a house. Even though it's crazy because the market's nuts down here, but it's going to change. The bubble's going to burst. I don't know what's going to happen. That's probably one of the most nervous things I'm nervous about. Like, because I want a house. You want
to own.
We're renting. I want to own, but we're getting into dangerous territory to where I'm getting kind of nervous to where I don't know how easy it's going to be to buy something in a year or two based on what's happening.
I don't know.
And that's exactly where they want you. They don't want you to own land. They don't want you to own property. They don't want you to own this stuff. They want to be in control of everything, the resources. That's why you got people like Bill Gates pushing synthetic beef. Bitch, fuck you. I hate that guy.
I hate him too, and I ain't eating no synthetic beef.
Oh, and also too, bitch, turn on your replies on Twitter.
Oh, he turned them off like a cunt?
And on Instagram. You can't write it, because honestly, it's funny, because ever since his bitch ass, divorced, what's her name?
Melinda.
Or whatever the hell that was about. She's like, you're a pedophile, sweetie.
Yeah,
I always knew it.
She was
I
out
always
of there.
knew it, you freak.
Give me the money, I'm gone. I'm owed something.
Yeah, you're going to give me this money or I'm going to expose every goddamn thing you did with that fucker.
Same with Bezos' wife.
Dude, I can't stand these people. So I was reading his little Instagram profile, and the comments were just vicious. Oh, they were great. I was loving it. I just wanted to light up to it and be like, you stupid. So anyway.
Comments have been limited on this post.
Yep, that's what happened. So
you know who else does that? Is Alec Baldwin's bitch-ass wife.
Oh, of course she does.
Hilaria.
Hilaria. Oh, damn, I just did a tongue roll.
Good for you.
That's really hard.
It is on that one. Now do Majorca. Say Majorca, but Majorca.
Majorca.
That's the hardest one.
Majorca.
You got to do it long. Majorca. But see, even
Majorca. But it's in my throat still. Shit.
They sound like a screeching woman. My neighbors are going to think I'm raping someone.
They really are. I should probably stop doing that. Yeah, that bitch. God,
all of them.
All of these people.
Did you
all
see
of these elites.
Alec Baldwin put out a real creepy Instagram video too, where he was like, "My job now is finding out the truth about what happened to Helena Hutchins." I'm like, "Bitch, you killed her!" That's the truth.
Dude, what an idiot. I saw that was he not giving up his phone or something?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
What texts are on there, we don't know.
Dude, this... Oh,
where
God.
he's like, shit. Alex had some freakouts in the past. He has got a fucking temper on him.
Oh, my God. I can see Hilaria with the kids like, Alec!
Hey, puppy,
Alec! Alec, calm down!
Don't hit me, puppy, please!
How do you say toot toot? Yo, fuck him. I swear to God, I hope he gets caught. You better cover your tracks good, man. Whatever you're up to, because you're up to something.
He's a part of everything that we're talking about. He's one of the main...
The apparatus.
The main peddlers of the shit.
I can't stand him.
He's a fuck. They're all fucks, Zach, and we are fucked.
Yeah, because they are in control. But
the people can revolt because it's happened in the past.
yeah, and we just need to stop complying with these assholes. I mean,
Do not comply.
yes, and they're not showing it. Like our news, they're bitches. They don't show anything. And it's funny watching CNN backpedal now, like saying all the shit that you could get banned for 2 years in regards to coronavirus. Now everyone can say it.
How about let's talk about how all your producers are fucking little kids?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like I don't even want to hear a lick of what you have to say anymore. You guys are frauds. You've been showing your cards. The way you treated Rogan, the way you treat pretty much anything that people have been saying for the past 2 years, and now you have the audacity to go out there on your channel and start saying the shit that people were losing their accounts over for. I mean, go to hell.
That they're still not getting their accounts back, and some people's whole livelihood was based on their social media following, and poof, it's gone. Go figure something else out because we decided that.
Yeah, because you could say the coronavirus deaths, people were saying like, hey, well, how many of those were from corona only? Most of these are happening with corona. Like if someone gets on you'd get banned for it. Now the CDC comes out, 75% of the deaths were with 2 to 3 or 4 comorbidities, which is something that you would get in a lot of trouble for saying for 2 years until now, all of a sudden.
And when Papa CDC or Papa Biden says it or Mommy Harris says it, now it's valid and it's okay. But 2 years ago, people were screaming, fuck you, for saying anything like
You're
that.
going to kill grandma.
And
I
now,
can't stand these people.
Oh,
dude.
grandma was old. Grandma had problems, and the COVID just didn't help.
New Year's, same shit. I can tell you this, it ain't gonna slow down. But back to these, I don't even know where the fuck
The social media is what I'm thinking.
Social media,
And
right?
the power of these fucking tech giants.
And I actually was listening to something not too long ago that kind of was talking about Jack Dorsey, and I've said this before. They're being strong-armed by the government.
Yeah.
And someone was saying, because Jack Dorsey, I feel like he had good intentions from the beginning, because creating the thing of Twitter.
I can agree
But
with
notice
that.
how he resigned. They have someone more radical in the place of CEO. I don't think he could play the game anymore. I think he wanted out.
He seems like a hippie to me.
Yeah, he seems like a hippie, and I feel like he was,
But see, like people like Alex Jones, I remember him saying just how sinister he was. Now, is that just because of the position he found himself in? We could have been Jack Dorsey. We could have been savvy with the internet back in the day. I just watched a documentary, The Internet's Own Boy, about the founder of Reddit, who they got on these bogus ass, like he was a phenom programmer from age 12 and was like working on Reddit at age 15 and working with these people, like let's say Jack Dorsey was older at the time and he's dealing with this 12-year-old and the kid's running the shit. And the government strong-armed him to the point where he killed himself.
really?
Yeah.
What were they telling him?
He was all about freedom of speech, freedom of
Right.
information, railing against the NSA and stuff like that. What they got him on, I couldn't even quite understand why he did it, but he downloaded from MIT off of their servers a ton of academic journals all at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I think their argument was you got to pay for these. And somehow he found I really got to rewatch it because it's, some of that internet stuff is very complicated. Like, wait, why was he doing that? And that's what they got him on, and they would not drop it. He downloaded stuff from a university that he shouldn't have. He didn't distribute it. He just downloaded it for his own use.
Personal use or
I
whatever?
guess so. And they wouldn't leave him alone. And he pretty much knew he was going to lose his case, so he killed himself. Or he got disappeared.
He got disappeared, like Paul McAfee.
That's also John McAfee.
John McAfee. I don't know why I said
Yeah,
Paul.
that's also a very strong possibility. But he was just a genius programmer who loved programming, who found himself in that position. And then another thing with him that gives me hope, there was that bill a couple years ago, back in like 2014, 13. I think he killed himself in 2014. This was 2013 or 12 and 13. They were about a year apart. SOPA, which was...
I remember SOPA.
To censor the internet greatly.
And that was I remember the Tumblr users were pissed about that.
It was going to pretty much change the World Wide Web forever for the worse. Meaning...
It didn't go through, though.
Because of him.
Right.
I can't even remember his name. Aaron Schwartz.
Aaron Schwartz. Oh, yeah, I do remember this
Remember
guy.
that dude's name? He was an American patriot. And it's
Yeah, because I remember SOPA was bad news.
and he led the force. It was like all but passed. And everyone was saying like, dude, you fought so hard for this, but you know how the government works. It's not going to happen. And then one day public awareness caught on
And stopped it.
and stopped it. So that gives me fucking hope that we can do that. And you don't have to do something like what they did on the 6th of January. And we've already talked about that. We've already given our opinions, meaning it was a fucking setup.
Yeah,
But
and
the people still showed up and the people still
blew it out of
stormed in.
proportion now.
Correct.
Comparing it to 9/11 shit.
AOC. Enjoy COVID, bitch.
Yeah, and don't come back to Florida.
Yeah, stay the fuck out. And don't fucking rail on Ted Cruz saying you're leaving your state in a state of emergency.
Nah, bro. Nah, Ted. Lying Ted.
You want to talk about that?
Lying Ted.
You used to love Ted.
Yeah, Ted was cool, but you know what?
That's what I was saying we might argue about because I remember you were very pro Ted.
I liked him.
I liked him too.
but you know, the
Free
more
Trump.
as we move on, the more as we evolve, and the more as we get, the more we strip it down and we get to more based.
Based.
The more we get more based in thinking and just more tribal, I don't know what the hell you want to call it. The more we're just trying to find our way back to undo this madness, the more I feel like seeing politicians work in their politician ways is more clear than ever before. And January 6th, we're not going to go, talk about the event itself again, but he made the comment on the day they were doing the memorabilia of like those terrorist attacks or this terrorist attack on whatever he said, called a terrorist attack, and he got confronted. Terrorist attack, please. And he got confronted by Tucker. And he dude, the clip is, but he told him, he said, you're very careful with your words. He said, I've known you for a long time. He goes, why did you use that word? And he goes, Tucker, like I said, he goes, I've said for many years that people who attack cops are terrorists. And it was a slip up. I just wasn't really thinking of what I was saying. But and then Tucker was like, I don't believe you. He literally said, I don't believe you. He goes, no, because that's just a guy who attacked a cop. And I was like, he goes, that doesn't fit the definition of terror attack. And I was like, damn. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Making our own accountable. You know what I mean? And I'm not even like, it's neither here nor there about what you think about the event in itself. I mean, I guess it is, but it was nice to see two people, supposedly
on the same side,
get held accountable by the other. And I'm glad that happened, because we can't let these fucks get away with shit anymore. Even people that we think are good.
Yeah. I have those thoughts in my head about Elon Musk. I don't know whether to love him or not trust him.
Yeah, he's tricky. I mean, out of all the billionaire boys,
I like him
him the best, but
he's still a billionaire boy.
He is still a billionaire boy. But I do like his style.
I wonder why he hasn't tried to establish some kind of social media.
Like I told you in a previous episode, I think he has a mission, and I don't think he's straying from his mission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he has a clear... Because what's great about him, what's different from Bezos, compare their two empires. Everything from A to Z, baby. Completely capitalized on the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is a billionaire from creating rockets and electric cars, which, yes, they're, consumers.
And PayPal.
That's right. He did have PayPal. But
Which
is he still a part of it, or he's selling?
No, way out.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Been done. PayPal, he only got millions.
But it was a service.
Right.
And that helps facilitate people do business. Because I use PayPal.
My dad uses PayPal.
I use PayPal all the time. It's my preferred method. But Bezos is on an empire of like feeding into the worst of human nature of like, oh, you want to buy this?
One click.
And then also, oh, by the way, we love you so much. You get free shipping for the next 24 hours.
And if you join my club, you get free 2-day shipping all the time,
Yeah.
no matter what. I'll make my drivers shit in bottles.
And we'll deliver this tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. sharp.
And damn it,
You don't have to wait.
it's there at 7 a.m.
Dude, it's there. And people are under
it's
a
not-
fucking spell from Amazon.
They take the slowest workers and they hang them where everybody else can see, just as to death.
Yeah, so when you drive into the warehouse, you like look at the tree and you're just like, oh,
Shaking.
you're like, I gotta.
Your piss bottles are sitting right next to you.
And then you hear Bezos like walk down the hall.
You hear that echoing?
Yeah. His stupid cowboy hat. I'm going on a ride on Orion. I'll be back, bitches.
But he's another one. I don't mean to tie everything back to social media, but that's a topic that fascinates me lately. He's another one I would think who would try to get in that space, because look at, is Twitter ever going to fall? Is YouTube ever going to fall? Is Facebook ever going to fall?
I don't know, because we are creatures of habit, and I think a big part of this is these new ones. Like we're comfortable with the existing platforms, because look, no one's gonna front. No other new platform is more appealing aesthetically or user friendly, because we've been so used to these. So I don't think if they do, we still have more time till they fall.
I wish I had a list of all the attempts at people trying to overtake social media. The first one that comes to my head is, I keep wanting to call it Patreon. Obviously, Patreon's Patreon. Parler.
Yeah, which got shut down.
Why?
The reason it got shut down is because of, I want to say it was January 6th. There was they thought that a lot of things were going on. Organizing was going on there, and what happened was people started dropping them, and the one server that was keeping them afloat was Amazon, and they shut it down. They literally like snipped the cord, and it was done. But come to find out, that's the Parler CEO was making the rounds, and he was literally saying they were cooperating, and they handed over any information that they thought deemed suspicious or might have led to anything. They were totally not in the wrong. I think the site is not really. I never even made a profile.
No,
but
remember, I was the one, because there's been a couple times you said, get on this, get on that, and we didn't do it, and we missed out. So I tried to be proactive for once. I was like, dude, we're going to go be the Parler boys. Like, that's where we're going to get our start. I just remember saying that, and thank God we didn't heavily invest.
No, because ever since they've been snipped, they have not made the comeback, because you don't even really hear
if you use it, I mean, you're really trying to prove a point. And there's been a million other little ones in between. Now it's that Getter.
Getter.
I made us a Getter account.
Is it Getter or Getter?
Get, like Gettr. It's not Gator.
No, Getter.
Getter. What were you thinking I was saying? Gatter?
Getter.
Get her?
Somebody come get her.
No, not that.
Yeah, it's Getter.
Getter.
Yeah.
Getter.
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 Getter. But, that one is interesting, because it's like a Twitter clone.
Right. You were saying something about that. Explain it again.
So I was watching the You Are Here, and because I don't know anything about it, you made the profile,
and that's as
Joe
far as-
Rogan. Joe Rogan hop ship.
I made the profile because Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
hop
no,
ship.
for sure. And I heard that, like, when you make a profile, if you have a Twitter presence, I don't know if this is true, like your follower count is reflected onto Getter somehow.
I don't know. Let me see if I can even.
Maybe not for ours. Maybe maybe if you link the count somehow. I don't know. I have no idea how it works.
I'm opening the app and I'm gonna see. They're all touting themselves as the free speech networks, but to a certain extent, you've got to have. No, we have 0 followers.
Okay, so maybe that's not true.
I saw 20 and we were following 20. That's just because at the very beginning they're like, "Who do you want to follow?" And I was just like, "Dun dun dun dun."
Oh, yeah, I know. Whenever you set up a new profile, I'd do the same shit.
And Rogan was one of them.
Exactly.
There.
And he had a lot. He has a lot already. He's like, what, 8 million or something?
Yeah, that's about what he has on Twitter. So it very well could just be a Twitter clone. I'm sure you can link.
I think you have to like maybe link your or I don't know.
Now I was saying this.
Or if you make it the same, they find it somehow.
It could be. Find me here, find me there. Who knows? Same with, and we can talk about Rumble. We've
I think they're the only ones that are making an impact because of that acquisition that just happened with them for like $2 billion.
Yeah, and they had a good IPO, I think.
Yeah.
I saw and I see on Twitter more and more people posting Rumble links.
That's what I mean. They're the only ones, in my opinion, that I think are like, okay, like something's brewing here.
They've got a good format. I've been on the desktop format and I've been on the phone format. The desktop I like a little better. I also use YouTube on, when I say desktop, I just mean computer.
Right.
I like that version more. I still don't quite get it, but I remember not getting Twitter for a while.
Yeah,
and now,
Twitter was hard to get. Now you can just...
I remember you telling me, like, I don't do Twitter because I don't understand.
Yeah, now I know how to quote tweets, which was super easy.
I mean, yeah, it's all the click of a button, but we are very resistant to what we don't understand. And when we're just like, I like this, so this is what I'll do. Now, I say all that. I'm thinking like there's not been any giant social media that's emerged recently. And then, boing, think about the biggest social media platform out right now.
Facebook.
Bigger, more popular right now.
Instagram.
TikTok.
Oh, TikTok.
That's new, I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that one.
But what does TikTok have? Chinese backing.
It does.
It's a Chinese app.
But you know what? I think it came at the perfect time because I think Vine was popular.
It filled the void.
Vine. It filled a void.
Musically was one that people used a lot that I think went under. I think Musically and TikTok might have partnered. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did. They look kind of the same, the logo.
Yeah,
right? I don't remember Musically, but I don't remember what it looked like. I remember that.
I never used it.
I never did either.
Triller is an app that was trying to do that for a while. Now they're getting into the whole boxing and all that bullshit. Getting in lawsuits with content creators and all sorts of nonsense Triller's getting into.
We should ask the people watching, should we make a TikTok?
Yeah.
Because I want to know, will we just get censored immediately? Because I've heard they're strict.
I just heard on the Tim Dillon podcast that this kid had myocarditis. Is that how you say it?
Myocarditis.
Thank you. Myocarditis was like this young football player, high school kid, made a video of it, got millions and millions of reposts, whatever it's called, or views, and got deleted.
Yeah, it's because
and all he was talking about was like
President Xi Jinping's like,
no. I don't want to dive further in that impression. That's my Asian impression all the time is hoi.
Hoi.
I think that's more Japanese too, and they're cool.
Biomedical weapon.
This was a biomedical weapon, wouldn't you say? What's going on right now?
In a fantasy world, potentially.
Allegedly, possibly, could be, maybe. I'm not going to confirm it.
But not in this world, no.
No.
Anyway.
I don't think any of these new traditional social medias, Rumble's got a chance because YouTube, love ya. I don't know why I blocked you out for that.
It's like, oh.
You're YouTube, okay? Love ya.
iMuffs.
And that's where Rumble, I think, does have a shot. I was saying they have to refine their user friendliness a little bit more, and
they'll get there.
YouTube for a while just wasn't very super user friendly.
I mean, it is, but it's there's a lot you can do on it.
Right, but there's also so many caveats that make YouTube very frustrating to deal with. When we see views, for instance, our year in review started out with 2,500 views.
Out of nowhere.
Went from 30-something views to 2.5, dropped down to 1.8, and now
it's at 2 flat.
And it stayed there.
And what's interesting is we gained like 250 subscribers after this video was published. Those didn't change.
No.
That stayed.
I mean, we fluctuate normal
We
amount.
lost 2.
Yeah,
which, you gain 2, whatever.
People's accounts get deleted from inactivity, maybe. I mean,
right. But I found it interesting that the views got hacked, which makes me wonder were those might have, were they real views? Maybe they have accounts that they're worried about and they try and cut off at the knees in the beginning.
That could be.
And then eventually like what if maybe they did that? Like what if they never did that hypothetically? We might have 3,000 views.
I don't know. All I know is
Because they're not going to tell you.
No, and I'll just say this. I've said it to you before. I don't like it because it makes it look inauthentic. Like, why does one view have...
We don't tamper with any of it.
I've done that when I was 13 years old on my old Christian music videos. And back then, 1 out of 4 of them that you did that to, get deleted, gone forever. They know. Because when there's just somebody, repeat, it's not a stupid algorithm. They know. Even Rumble, I sat there and I was like, let me see if the view counts go up by just me watching it. And no. It's got one did. And then they know it's probably from a certain IP address.
Right.
So
and then that's that view.
Nowadays, you just can't do that. And you can't, there was on like fucking Fiverr and other sites like buy 10,000 YouTube views guaranteed. And I'm sure people are still offering that, but you will get shut the fuck down. And that video will get taken down. Your channel will get stricken. And it's a big deal.
And you only get 3.
And we already, I don't know if we have one or not.
Yeah, do we have a real strike from that? They got us on that Bill Withers video.
Bill Withers passed away, and we sang 1 minute of his song. I was playing it.
I probably should stop that.
Yeah, really. It was 1 minute of Lovely Day by Bill Withers. I played it over the speaker.
Yeah, it wasn't even
On my
edited into
phone,
the actual
no.
audio clip.
And,
Or video clip, rather.
And they took it down. Or sorry. They did not take it down. They gave us a copyright strike.
But they left it up.
Right.
Which is weird.
Well, we didn't monetize it.
Oh, true. Okay.
We can't, and we didn't. Which is why would we still get a strike? Why can't we make a tribute to Bill Withers? That's where YouTube's fucking up.
Well, that's where it's suspicious almost.
Why can't, even if we were able to monetize and we just wanted to do a tribute, like Caleb came on the podcast, my friend who we're going to get on this podcast soon, his pen right here, Ritz-Carlton pen. Shout out to Bob Saget. He gave that to us for the podcast. He's like, I want this nice pen in the podcast. I'm like, I leave it there every time.
Nice.
Shout out to Caleb.
That is ironic, too,
I
with
know.
Bob Saget. That is crazy.
But we have a Ritz-Carlton right down the street.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
We're talking about copyright?
And YouTube and the way it works and the strike.
Oh, Caleb
yeah.
wanted to do, he was just like fascinated by like Michael Jackson's had a hit in like every era of every year in a certain span of years. And he was just like, he wanted to play a song and be like, did you know this was Michael? Like he wanted to have a Michael Jackson appreciation podcast. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. And he started playing songs and I was like, damn it, dude, this is going to get stricken. And we already got one. We can't do this. But to me, if we're not profiting on it, we're not running ads, we're not selling a product.
Then it shouldn't matter.
That's where you got to have people. And I don't know if there's enough manpower or if they just don't feel like doing it. You got to have human beings reviewing all of those, not a algorithm or computer system. Because they're just, I guarantee you, no YouTube affiliate saw our podcast. That's nowhere near on their radar to spend time, even 30 seconds of their day watching and be like, yeah, we should strike.
And to find an older one at that.
Where that really screwed us because we can't refute it anymore. And we might just always have a strike. And we got to be really careful.
Damn, now we can only have 2.
I know. 2 strikes and you're out, boys. That's what's creepy, that they hold that kind of shit over your head. And this is our career we're trying to bank on. This is what we want to do.
If anyone's watching this and you got this far, please write down in the comments, like, don't say this, don't say that. I need a guide.
Yes.
Because we're navigating murky waters here.
And right now,
because so much has changed since where we left off.
Donna Marie says, cool it on the language. Not for her, again, not for her personal
Yeah, but we're not
taste.
going to get a strike for that.
No, but we might not be able to monetize.
That's fine.
I guess
We
that's
can't yet.
No, and that's our choice. And we got.
But we can't monetize yet.
No, we're getting there. We can't even post yet. I can post on my rap account because I have 700 some subscribers. And I noticed.
You have 700 on your rap account?
Yeah, that was
Damn,
was
nice.
through the Christian rap. Yeah.
Damn.
We should have just made someone's that account.
Unsubscribe. You just saw all the numbers drop. What
Yeah.
the hell is this?
Yeah. And we'll go over the whole rap thing. A lot of that was from the Christian people. Like when I was doing Christian rap, people were very supportive with that. Honestly, I might go back to that. I need to make some money. That's terrible. I can't do that. I can't fake the funk like that. That's why I got out of it.
Fake the funk.
Fake. Oh, I dropped my vape. I don't need it. We'll wrap up here in a minute.
Oh, my God.
The world's going to hell in a handbasket. And like I was saying before, we'll bring it all the way back and then we'll wrap. Every society that has fallen has to deal with mass gender dysphoria. And to me, that's clearly what's going on now. And like what we were talking about with the swimmer.
Oh, the
Taya or Leah Thomas is the new name.
Yeah,
I wanted to look up the dead name just to say it because I'm an asshole, but
the dead name?
Their old name.
Oh,
is
their
called,
old name,
so
right,
if,
right,
or
right.
if I said, "Hey, he's a great swimmer," that'd be dead naming,
Oh, I see.
and that's a strikeable offense on places.
Yeah, well, I guess we won't do that then.
No,
But
I don't know about YouTube, but
he-
they. I don't know their preferred pronouns, so I guess let's just say they. As much as I don't want to.
they won against another one. No, lost.
Lost. I was gonna say.
Lost. That's what I mean. I can't even.
For those who don't know, Leah Thomas was a man, transitioned to a female, went to Penn State.
Still a man.
Went to Penn State, broke a bunch of records in swimming. Everyone cried foul. USA Swimming, people resigned. People protested. Just swam at a swim meet in Yale against another trans person who was
A female
who wants to
who
become,
wants to become male,
but
who is still competing in the female league currently because she's not
there yet.
there yet. And she beat
Leia.
Leia.
Leia. Hey,
terrible.
coach, I'm here to swim.
And so it's just a convoluted kind of a mess here. So it's interesting because this kind of throws a wrench into the whole theory. I stole this from hey, nice. I was listening to Michael Knowles and he had a good point. He said that the whole theory of well, it's unfair because a man is physically more capable. They're going to win every time. Not this time.
That's where it gets interesting, my friend. Now, is that more proof for we probably just need a trans league?
I think that's what they should do.
Seems like those two were competitive with each other. Now, that shows me too, hey, could the one who won, who was a woman and becoming a man, have done that when they were a girl? Or are they taking tests and they're taking D-ball and...
That's what I mean. I don't know if those questions were answered.
I don't know if those questions were asked. People might be afraid.
Oh, yeah, they're
What
afraid.
you on, dude?
What am I on?
That's what I'm on.
That's what I'm on, you bigot. You bigot. God.
So it's just I've never been the end times guy, but I see things like that and I'm like, man, I think we're falling. I don't think I want to have kids. I think I've decided that you are you and you have your wife.
No, I
and
mean, it's if you do, it's going to be a lot of work to keep them straight and to keep them with that from getting corrupted because they want to corrupt them.
Mm-hmm.
And to touch on this whole swimming thing one last time, I think I've told you this. Gender dysphoria is a real thing.
Yes.
And it's not as common as they're making it out to seem, but it is a real thing, and it deserves empathy. And these people deserve to exist without a question. But the problem is, it's coming to this fad stage,
and it's coming to a place where you're forcing everybody to believe your own dysphoria. We don't go around and believe what schizophrenics say. We don't.
Right.
We don't say, you know what, the voices in your head are real, and we respect them. And you killed her because the voices told you to.
Yep, totally.
We're fine with that. It's the exact same thing.
And yeah,
you are
someone's
just
gonna be like, "You're comparing schizophrenia to," and I'm
Yes.
gonna be like, "Yes, actually, because they're both a disorder
of the mind.
Because it's not normal to truly believe mentally that you are the opposite gender of what you were born as."
I think through therapy and through a lot of things, you can not to overcome it, but you can settle yourself with it. If you still want to transition,
then you know what? When you're an adult, and it works. Look at Blair White. That was a case where that might have been that was the best course of action for her. But The problem is now people who have the parents are in on it to where they're like, my kid, likes to do this. That means, they're jumping the gun
and deciding for them.
And instead of being like, well, hold on, maybe they're gonna grow out of that. Maybe try a little bit of different courses of action. And then if it persists, then okay, maybe you are dealing with this for real. Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. People are gonna fucking hate us.
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna.
They are jumping. I'm trying to make a funny joke. You know that song? A little bit of Monica. I'm thinking like parents with their kids, like a little bit of dysphoria on my mind. A little bit of that. You are fine.
And little Johnny's playing with dolls.
That just popped in my head. Don't ask why. That's a good
little
song.
Emily's playing with cars.
She's a. He's a. We don't know. And I'm bleeping both.
Dude, this is so bad.
I love it.
Oh shit.
We're done here.
2022, bring it on, bitch.
New Year, same shit. Like and subscribe. Follow us everywhere except follow us on Getter. Yeah.
Yeah, Getter.
I promote
pump those numbers up.
Yeah, the only one we're not on is Facebook, which who really cares?
I'm not going into that metaverse.
Nope.